Innovation, technology and design in Shropshire, do those words go together? Well, yes, they do. But today I am going to talk to you about a programme called Liverpool, but give you an insight into what we as a designer and what as a design team have brought to that particular programme, how we're adding value. But what I'm really going to talk about is people, because for me that's what it's really about. Yes, the technology is important, but as service designers we're about delivering usable, efficient, effective and desirable services, stuff that people want to use. So that's frontline staff, that's involving service users, non-service users. So it's all about people. As a design industry, I suppose, and I'm really guilty of doing this, I like to talk about what it is. What is service design? I like to talk about the double diamond, the ethnographic research, the prototyping. But that's really important. But today it's got to be about what it can do for you. And there was a theme this morning about where's the value in design? Can we see it? And I think there is. I think there are benefits. But what I will always do is make the case for design and design in the public sector. Now, you know, it's an emerging industry in the public sector. But if you go into any high street store or department store, you'll find that the shelves stocked with stuff that people want to use, stuff that the manufacturers have created using co-design principles for people, with people, for people. But the fundamental question to ask is, why do we put more time and effort and resources into designing our coffee machines than we do into our social services? And it's not about the buildings, and I think we're getting better at doing that. It's about the services that are delivered from there. A little bit about more independent Liverpool. It's a Dallas project. It's an innovative partnership across the health sector, but also private sector as well, and also involving some amazing community organisations. What really attracted us to this project was the vision behind it, and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I suppose, to revolutionise the way that people in Liverpool think about their health. And there's an important point here, because health inequality across the city is huge. There's a massive difference in life expectancy from one part of the city to another. And I think the real aspiration here has to be to empower people to take more control of their health, but supporting them to do so both on an individual and on a community basis. So yes, assistive technology and technology is a key part of this particular project, but it's not the only part of it. There's much, much more to it. We're involved in a particular work stream, so as designers we're supporting the telehealth work stream, and actually the idea is to give people more control of their health and understand how they're feeling by letting them have access to those statistics and understand how they're doing. So, like the rest of the project, the ambition around telehealth is huge. So we're looking at rolling out about 500 units across the city over a 3-year period. Now, there's a few questions there. Is that possible? Is it a commercially viable proposition? And certainly for the health sector, is the service a sustainable one? So again, touching on a little bit like we did this morning about the value and the end results. So it's a 3-year programme, we're just over halfway through. Why did they want designers on board? Where did they see the value of design? And I suppose some credit, probably a lot of credit, goes to the TSB, the Technology and Strategy Board, and the Design Council for bringing designers in and encouraging the Dallas Seeds to think about design, because essentially they wanted people to think about not just about the technology, but about the people who used it. I think they wanted people who could be a bit disruptive, and I think we bring that a little bit of that to it in a positive way, and that real energy and enthusiasm I think that designers naturally bring to pieces of work. They asked us to hold up the mirror to them to say, tell us what it's like, what does it look like? And I think as designers we tend to be open, honest, objective brokers. Now, this is working out well now, but it hasn't always been the case. So there's some challenges there. They also wanted, and this is interesting, they also wanted people who were flexible, would roll their sleeves up and be embedded into their way of working. So that's the reason why they chose us, because we're not a traditional consultancy offering. They almost wanted an anti-consultancy. Their words, not mine. And There's still teasers about being about the soft stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure about understanding people is soft, really. And pretty pictures. I'm sure everybody's had a bit of that. But My Liverpool know that we are focusing on value and that we will help them focus on benefits. Because the potential benefits, just in terms of hospital admissions, are huge. A&E admissions can be reduced, bed days can be reduced, tariff rates can be reduced. So there's really great potential benefits there, but they have to be realised, and I think we can help them to do that. But it's not about us as designers, and it's not just about the technology, because we all make it work. It's not about the GP, it's the community matron, the funders, the guys who fit the technology into people's houses, or the people who take the phone calls. We all make it work, don't we? We all shape that customer experience, the end-to-end service, from recruitment to step down. And I think ultimately the customer experience will be the judge of whether this project is a success or not. Sounds great, doesn't it? Sounds really positive. But where are the challenges as designers on this piece of work? Delivering that scale is a massive challenge. So this is a funded program with clear targets and clear objectives, things that have to be hit. Now, as designers, we're always focused on scale, but it isn't necessarily where we start from. So working at scale, at pace, in a new and forming partnership has been a challenge for us. And I think I touched on it a little bit earlier about we're seen as all things soft and about the evaluation. Well, yes, I suppose we are supporting the evaluation, but only to help them build a sustainable service offering. A service that people want to use. How often do you hear about the public sector in those terms? People wanting to use the services. And one that delivers the benefits to all stakeholders. So that whole end-to-end picture. So for me, this is really built on real problems, real stories, and real experiences, because otherwise I think people just make stuff up. And I think having come from a local background, local government background, and worked there for 25 years, people talk themselves into a good idea, and these ideas become services. And you quite often see services that are working against each other, services that are delivering a completely different outcome to than they were intended for. So what do real problems, real stories, and real experiences look like? So these are some specific quotes from our work. So I didn't want to use it anymore. I had to do my readings between 11 and 2 every day. That's when I go out. So telehealth is life-enhancing technology. Is it really? Who's the customer in this case? Who's the service actually for? Who's it benefiting? And actually, this has been a very, very expensive intervention. There's significant failure demand in that. And so the service needs to be more personalised, more flexible, and certainly more responsive to people's life patterns, I suppose, as part of the recruitment process. So, and here's another one. Well, you can't have a day of design and not have Playmobil figures and Lego characters, can you? That's the first one. The patient wanted to come off. The base unit was in their bedroom and the light was keeping them awake all night. Okay. Simple problem could be easily rectified by a simple change to the product, even a bit of black tape stuck across the light, or even where it's installed. But again, another very, very expensive intervention. Would this patient recommend telehealth to their neighbour? That customer reputation, or somebody down the GP surgery? Probably not. The final one isn't actually one of mine, but I love it anyway. So a community matron was watching a demonstration of an education video which forms part of the telehealth care plan. Now, this care plan was, this video was talking about the benefits of moving from an olive oil-based salad dressing to a lemon-based olive oil salad dressing. And the matron said, consider this as Liverpool said, I don't care if they have chips with their salad, I'd just be pleased they were having salad. So, the videos are there to inspire behavioural change. They're there to inspire people to change the way that they live their lives. Then they need to be more relevant, they need to be more personalised, don't they? There's no point having the videos on there if people can't relate to them. Yeah. So I think for me, that's where we do add value as service designers, real problems, real stories, real experiences. And I think you can begin to see that a design input can shape a program such as this and does add value. And I think that's because, you know, design is people-centered. It's all about people. I think design is a rigorous, and a deliberate approach. And by taking a design-based approach, I think you can really reduce that failure demand. I think there's huge failure demand in that service as it stands now. We love to collaborate. I think as designers, we love to collaborate, and certainly as a team working currently working within Shropshire Council, we love to collaborate as well. And I'll leave you with a final slide. This has come from Restart Britain too. It's something I believe in, and I think we believe in Shropshire, because we don't think there's anything in our business that we can't change. So how public services are designed is central to their purpose. It's not about soft furnishings. Thank you very much.